Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here on my channel, and this is my first of at least 2 videos today. I'm gonna recap the Dodger game right after this video. I'm gonna talk about the Indianapolis 500, recap this race right quick, and go over the finishing order, and then I'll get to recap the Dodgers game. Those are at least 2 of my videos for now. If the Coke 600 does happen, then I'll do a recap for that, but I'm still optimistic. I think it could happen. We'll just have to see if the weather holds up. But for the Indy 500, I thought it was a solid race. I thought it was an above average race, like a 6 or 7 out of 10. But it was an above average race. I thought the second half of the race was entertaining, because you had Kirkwood getting through the field, finally getting up there. Ferrucci was leading. O'Ward, Ferrucci swapped the lead. And you had Palou was up there mostly at the beginning. Him and VK were the 2 dominant cars early throughout the first about 80-90 laps until the pit stop, and then they collided. So it really set them back until they got back up there towards the end. You had Rosenquist, O'Ward, the McLaren cars were really fast with O'Ward, Rosenquist, Rossi. They were all fast. Canal was about 10th, 15th as you'd expect. The Penske cars weren't that fast outside of Newgarden. Power was in the top 10 at portions, and then he hit the wall and was pretty much done. McLaughlin was pretty much a no-show. He didn't really run good either. So, really shocking he ran that bad, McLaughlin. I expected Ferrucci to be up here, though. VK, Palou, those are some of the fastest cars of the week. Rossi. So, yeah, let's just get in and talk about this race. I thought it was a good race, in my opinion. Or not a good race. I mean, what I mean to say is an above average race. Like a 7 out of 10. I thought the first half was nice and tame and calm. Like you have VK and Palou swapping the lead back and forth. And then you had O'Ward and Rosenquist swapping the lead back and forth strategically as teammates. But then lap 61-62, we are first green flag cycles, pit stops. And O'Ward and Rosenquist stayed out later and everybody. But luckily they caught a caution on lap 93. As Stingray Robb crashed, Graham Rahal kind of pinched him down. He wasn't happy, which Stingray Robb had a rough season so far in his rookie go in the Indycar series. Palou and VK were the dominant cars early, swapped the lead back and forth the first about 49 laps. And then pit stops, obviously we had that crash, but VK lost it on pit road, spun out, hit Palou. They were both luckily able to continue. VK even come back from the penalty for avoidable contact. So VK even come back from some adversity with that incident. Had to come back from the penalty. And Palou, starting in the back of the pack, come back to finish, I think, in the top 5. I'm pretty sure. So that was interesting. That was a very key moment in the race, because those 2 were the dominant cars early. Yeah, it's crazy. Catherine Legg lost it on pit road, and I guess the toe link broke, kind of hit the wall, so she was done for the day, which is unfortunate. Rahal later Lanigan had a really rough Indy 500 weekend. Catherine Legg crashing in practice, had to get a backup, I think, and then pretty much wrecks on pit road. And Rahal not making the race for that team, just a disaster of a week for Rahal Lanigan. And even Rahal had issues for the start. Battery died on the car. So yeah, just a bad weekend for Rahal overall. And Dixon had to come in early for a pit stop. He had a huge left rear vibration. You can even see on the broadcast them showing his car's a horrible vibration. That was just dangerous levels. He had to come on pit, and the rear wing could have looked like it could have snapped off. So yeah, that's Dixon had really troubles pretty much most of the day. Didn't really run well after that. And Lade was the first car out of the race. So next thing is Rosenquist Award, or swapping the lead, but then Romain Grosjean crashes. So he crashed in turn 2 again. He just lost it and hit the wall. The Romain Grosjean competition caution. But here we go. Team Andretti just didn't really have a good day today. This horrible day. Grosjean crashed. DeFrancesco didn't run good. Herta, he did get in the top 10, I remember, but I don't know where he finished. Then Ferrucci took the lead. He had a really fast car. Went from 3rd to 2nd to 1st. O'Ward then took the lead after he pitted. After O'Ward had pitted, he went up and passed Ferrucci. And then we had more pit stops. Ferrucci, I thought he was going to get a penalty. Apparently he did, but I guess it was just like a warning. So luckily, it didn't ruin his race. O'Ward. And then we got Felix Rosenquist just washed up, hit the wall. Toe light was broke. He spun out, come back across the track, and clipped Kirkwood, that tire. I thought that was going into the grandstands, but luckily it missed it. Went out of the track, but unfortunately it hit somebody's white Chevy car. So maybe hopefully they have insurance on that Chevy. But yeah, that was a dangerous crash, but luckily Kyle Kirkwood was okay. Because that was a dangerous crash. Because he hit the wall and went upside down. But luckily he was okay, able to get out of the car under his own power, and was checked and released at the Infield Care Center. And then we go back green. That was our 3rd caution. And O'Ward tries to make a pass on Ericsson. Ericsson kind of squeezed him down a little bit to where he didn't really have enough room. O'Ward loses it, spins out. McLaughlin runs over Pagenaud in the back of the field. Canapino gets hit. And those 4 were the cause of our... Those 3-4 were the cause of our next caution. Unfortunately for O'Ward, I mean, he had one of the fastest cars there late in the race. And unfortunately, before the restart, they had to wave it off because he was slow up the field. And then he got passed on the restart. And then he just crashed right there. But he said he's going to remember that from Ericsson. I thought that was just a racing deal, but I definitely understand his frustration. 2 years in a row, he's found a way to lose this race. But Newgarden took the lead before the caution, or on that restart. So we get Carpenter, so we're going to restart, but then we're going to restart, 4 to go. But before we even get to turn 1, there's a crash in the back of the field with Rahal, Peterson, the rookie, Andretti, and Carpenter, and that's our yellow number 5. I'm like, this is how it's going to finish. I mean, I was okay with Marcus Ericsson winning, but we have 2 to go. We're about to go to the white flag, and they put out the red flag with 2 laps to go. And that's just a joke. I'm sorry. It's just a joke. So they red flagged it like 3 times in the last 50 laps. But that was the right call. With 15 to go. There's a good amount of debris. I understand with 15 to go, but 3 red flags. You could have had at least 2. With that one and the one with 50 to go or whatever. But luckily no one was injured with that tire going through the crowd. Or flying into the grandstand, going to the parking lot. You red flag it once, I understand, but twice, oh man. Just a disaster. Well, I guess they got their NASCAR race. I hope they enjoyed it. Like, this is just horrible. Just a joke. Just ended under caution, because a one-lap shootout, if the leader gets passed, they don't even really have a chance to come back and make an attempt to pass on the leader on the last lap. They even crashed before the line. And, like, this is just a joke. I'm sorry. Red flag with 2 to go. My call would be the number 8. Mark Ericsson wins under caution. Terrible, terrible idea. They just went. They decided, oh, we're going to go full NASCAR. And people will say, oh, they should finish the green at all costs, but a one-lap shootout is just pointless. Because if the leader gets past, the second place car is going to win. If the second place car is behind the leader in the last lap, they're going to win, and the leader that gets past won't even have a chance to come back on them. It's just disappointing that they're wrecking for last. And the race should have been finished. Wrong decision. But I guess they wanted to go full NASCAR. But Joseph Newgarden takes the lead on the last lap, and he wins the Indy 500 and celebrates in the crowd, which is fun. But Ericsson kind of got robbed, in my opinion. But yeah, that was a good celebration. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about from this race, especially the finish. I thought the second half was entertaining, like I said. But I just didn't like the red flag there in the one-lap shootout. I was not a fan of that finish. But it was just really unfair and dangerous to end the race. There's no consistency in calls nowadays with race officiating. But yeah, that's all I'll say. I guess we can go over the finishing results for this race. So Joseph Newgarden wins. Marcus Ericsson second. Santino Ferrucci third. Alex Palou comes back to finish fourth after his incident on pit road. Scott Dixon 6th. Takuma Sato finished in the 7th position. Connor Daly 8th. Colton Herta 9th. And Renus VK rounds at the top 10. 11th, Ryan Hunter-Reay. 12th, Callum Ilott. 13th, Devin DeFrancesco. Scott McLaughlin finishes 14th. 15th, Helio Castroneves. Tony Kanaan 16th. Marco Andretti 17th. Jack Harvey 18th. Christian Logard 19th. Ada Carpenter 20th. 21st, Benjamin Peterson. 22nd, Graham Rahal. 23rd, Will Power. 24th, Pato Award. 26th, Augustine Canapino. 27th, Felix Rosenquist. 28th, Kyle Kirkwood. 29th, David Malukas. 30th, Romain Grosjean. 31st for Stingray Robb. 32nd, R.C. Anderson. And around the field, 33rd in last place is Catherine Legg. So that's all I'll say for the Indy 500. So until next time, Peace.